Welcome to Parkland Profile. I'm your host for today, Madison Oliver. On today's show, we'll be visiting local businesses, meeting some adorable pets that need homes, and much more. Let's get started. To start off today's show, we'll get an inside look at Accent School of Dance in Tillman Square. Avery Boyer will show us just what makes this school so special and how it creates such talented dancers.
Hi, I'm Karen and started Accent School of Dance in 1996. I had taught for the previous owner and she was ready to retire and offered it to me, and I took it on, and we started really small and built it into 3 studios.
I'm Peyton Reineck. I dance at Accent School of Dance, and I dance because it helps you to release your inner, personality.
We offer classes for ages 3 through high school. We offer a few adult classes, but mostly for children's classes, combination classes, classical ballet, tap, jazz, contemporary, modern, lyrical, hip hop. I think I've got it all.
I love dancing at Accent because it's the #1 studio in the Valley. And it's really fun.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Duchateau. I'm a dance teacher at Accent School of Dance, and I've been dancing since I was 3, and I love it, and it gives me joy, and especially teaching now that I'm just first starting off. It's a whole different experience instead of being a student, so it's really nice exploring and being a teacher for this first year and finding new ways of explaining movement and stuff like that.
My favorite thing is the different age groups and working with all the kids and watching their progress throughout the years.
Now Maggie Durkin will give us an in-depth look at animals in distress, an animal shelter that rescues, recuperates, and tries to find homes for animals that have been abused or neglected. We will also get a chance to meet 2 of these animals in need of a loving home.
Duchess is a Shepherd Doberman mix that we got a call on several years ago. She was a stray up in a very remote wooded area in the mountains, and she was pregnant, and a family chained her to like an old trailer in their backyard, and she gave birth to 9 puppies while she was chained outside. The puppies were about 4 weeks old, and the people that had her could not afford to feed her or the puppies, and they called us for help. We went to their remote location and found a starving mother dog with the puppies. We also found several other animals up there, some of them very sick, all of them needing more food. So we had taken quite a supply of food up there, and we wound up leaving the food with them and some medicine, and then we brought back the mother dog, the 9 puppies, 2 sick cats, and some sick kittens. Duchess is the mother dog, and we've had her now with us for several years. All of the puppies eventually found a home, but Duchess is still here. This happens a lot where sometimes the mother of the animals doesn't get adopted, but all the babies do. And so she's here at the shelter looking for a home. Her special friend is one of our volunteers named Bob, and he comes every week and spends hours walking her and taking her all over our property, to have dog adventures. And without animals in distress, Duchess would have died at the end of that chain along with her puppies. Okay, here at Animals in Distress, regardless of what an animal needs, once we take it in, that animal is given the best care we can give it. We have animals here that are diabetic. We have dogs here that are arthritic, and they need to be given special pain medications every day. We have a dog here that had a broken jaw, and the jaw had to be wired, and for quite a long time until it healed. He needed special food. We have dogs and cats here with allergies, so they're on prescription diets, and some of them on duck and sweet potato, and another one might be on venison. So we have a whole variety of foods here, some for special needs animals, some for older animals that can't chew hard food anymore. So it's quite an elaborate time here for feeding at the shelter. There are charts and lists of who can get what and who shouldn't get what. But that's part of the care that we give to each animal. We make a commitment to do the best for each animal we have here as we possibly can, and that's what we do. He was in excruciating pain every time he had to go to the bathroom, and we didn't know it in the beginning. And then after a while, it was diagnosed, and then he had to have almost a year's worth of surgeries and follow-up care in order to get this healed up. And so most places would not do anything even close to that level of care because of the cost and the follow. I mean, I was up here at 2 a.m. after his surgeries giving him pain meds every night so that he wouldn't be in excruciating pain overnight. And he's a sweet dog, but he's timid. He's not an in-your-face personality. He's a lot more timid, but very sweet. He's a gentleman, very low-keyed. He's not a pesty dog, so he's the kind of dog that would be nice for somebody that wants a really nice dog, but not one that's at them all the time. He's extremely well-mannered. And all the veterinary staff down at the hospital, we took him down near Malvern, we're specialists for surgery, and they all think the world of him because he's such a nice dog. And all the pain, all the suffering, all of the poking and probing, not once did he growl or snap or do anything. And he's a wonderful little dog. So that's Sarge's story.
Thanks for that heartwarming story, Maggie. Parkland students have an abundance of talents. In today's student profile, we will meet Jeremy Gibson, a junior looking to make a name for himself in music production. Our own Trayvon Mayfield got to sit down with a budding musician to talk about his hopes for producing music in the future.
I grew up with music from like birth, I guess you could say. I mean, like I went to like David Bowie concerts at like 5 years old. So I mean, it's been with me for a long time. But really, when I started to listen to my own like type of music was when probably about middle school happened, and I started to like really explore like different genres and everything. I hope that when I grow up I actually get to do what I want to do in life. Not just have to do work that I don't enjoy, or I won't sadly get the motivation to do it and probably go poor and go on the streets or something. But I really hope that when I get to the college level, this is what I'm hoping to do, is do some fine art, maybe be my major, and then minor in music production, music technology, really get like an in-depth course on like how I can make my music sound better and grow my like a definite like style for myself, and maybe give my name for myself. That'd be beautiful. My parents are doing a fantastic job helping me out, trying to find classes for me for my genre that is a lot different than just playing piano or playing violin. So I'm really thankful for that, and hopefully I get to be where I want to be soon, but it's going to take some time. If you want to listen to my music, you can check me out on Twitter at Reeves Beats. You can check me out on SoundCloud, Reeves Beats, no spaces. And you can check me out on Facebook, which is also Reeves Beats. Thanks.
Speaking of the cold, our next story features Steel Ice Center, a local ice skating rink that knows how to keep you entertained this winter. Here's Taylor Faust with more on all the rink has to offer.
It's the dead of winter. It's cold and snowy, and the sun never seems to shine. It's about the time of year when people start to get cabin fever. But one local business believes it has the cure. Steel Ice Center is located in Bethlehem, near Sands Casino and the Steel Stacks, and it has plenty of activities to keep you busy all throughout the winter season. One of its most popular is Open Skate, which is when anyone, regardless of skill, can come with family or friends to spend a couple of hours on the ice. It's open on Friday nights from 8 to 10, and it costs $8 for adults, $6 for kids under 10, and $3 for kids under 4. You do not need your own skates. Steel Ice Center has ones that you can rent for $3.
We have rentals. We have figure skating and hockey skates. You get to choose between each one. I suggest that you use figure skating if you're not quite sure how to skate. Public skate also Friday nights. We have beaches. And you can come out with your family, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Alright, so I like ice skating because it's a chance for me to have a new experience on the ice. And I think it's a good challenge because it takes a lot of balance, which I lack a lot of. But it's okay because I'll learn.
Steel Ice Center also has activities for people who are more serious about skating.
We also have Learn to Skate, Learn to Play Hockey, and we also have Spring Leagues, which is hockey leagues.
It's mostly youth right now, but there is an adult spring league also. But the youth goes from 5-year-olds all the way up to 18-year-olds. We have a Learn to Play that goes all year long, and also skating classes for hockey.
For the Learn to Skate program at Steel Ice Center, lessons are available for people ages 3 to adult. They offer lessons for different interest levels, as well as whether you're learning in order to be proficient on the ice or to play hockey. Lessons are on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. The next sections of lessons begins the week of February 22nd. They cost $99 for 6 lessons plus a $15 fee, or $82.50 for 5 lessons plus a $15 fee. The Learn to Play Hockey lessons run on Saturdays for 1 hour. They go for 6 weeks for $99. A program for adults is also available. Hockey games of various levels are also a regular occurrence. You can find local collegiate teams as well as lower levels. Steel Ice Center hosts games for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms Youth, the Lehigh Valley Scholastic League, including our very own Parkland Trojans, Geezer Hockey League for those over 35, and the Original Six Hockey League for adults. So next time you feel trapped, like there's nothing to do in this never-ending winter, try Steel Ice Center and get rid of those winter blues.
As we come to the end of winter and flu season, many medical professionals suggest serious issues may be on the horizon. Tony is going to fill us in on one of the biggest issues, vaccinations, next.
Hi, my name's Tony. I'm a senior at Parkland, and I'm one of the tech guys for the show. Now, I'm the kind of person who keeps up with news around the world, and there's a lot of stuff going on all over the place. Russia, Ukraine, all kinds of fun things. But something real close to home that's been happening lately is that measles is making a comeback. And that's not good. We dealt with that disease a while ago. So today, I'm going to talk to you guys about why measles is coming back and what you can do to keep it from coming back any farther. Now, the answer to all of these questions is fairly simple, particularly why it was gone and why it's now coming back. Measles was gone because we have a vaccine for it. Like many other potentially deadly viruses, we've got vaccines for measles. If you get vaccinated, you can't catch it. If you can't catch it, you can't transmit it. And that's very important for a disease like measles, where catching it for certain people can mean death. Now, if we have the technology for it, a lot of people wonder why it is suddenly an issue again. Because we do currently have an outbreak of measles going on. The reason for this sudden spike in people with measles is that not as many people are getting vaccinated as used to. Now, there are a number of causes for this, the primary one being a study that was published about 15 years ago. We're talking near the turn of the millennia. The study suggested that there may be a link between vaccines, particularly the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, and autism. Now, this study was a load of rubbish. None of it was true. The study has since been retracted, and it is actually the agreement of both the scientific and medical community that there is no link between these vaccines and autism. So, why are people still believing it? It's complicated. You see, autism is a disease that we do not understand nearly as well as most other diseases. Truth is, science doesn't know what causes autism, and that's something very difficult to tell a parent. People feel backed into a corner, and they will look for any solutions, anything to blame that they can. Vaccines, as a result of this one now retracted paper, have been the target for this sort of controversy. There is no debate. They don't cause autism. But that was still enough to stop people from getting them. Now, this is problematic because vaccines rely on everybody being vaccinated to work. When just one person is vaccinated, it helps that one person. If you are immune to the disease, you can't catch it and you can't transmit it. But when everybody is vaccinated, that means nobody's catching and transmitting the disease. And then if you add a few people who are not vaccinated, they are still safe. It's called herd immunity. Now, there are more things causing people to not get vaccinated. One of those things, in addition to the autism issue, is that a lot of people feel that vaccines aren't natural. Now, that's a strange argument. You see, your immune system, no matter how strong it is, can always use help. You can drink as much orange juice as you want. If you imagine your immune system as, say, a weightlifter, you could be a 7-foot-tall, 300-pound beefcake, and if you don't know how to fight, there's not much you can do. Vaccines are sort of like teaching that beefcake of your immune system martial arts. And like I said, people should be scared. These are diseases that kill people. We haven't seen plagues and stuff like that in such a long time because the vaccines have been working, and that's the way it should stay. It is a sad side effect now that people are more scared of things like autism because things like autism we see in our day-to-day life. But we should keep it that way, where we're not seeing things like measles in our day-to-day life. It's starting to creep back. The most recent outbreak happened at Disney. The fact of the matter is the people who are most vulnerable to these diseases are not people with strong immune systems who can get vaccinated, but people with weak and compromised immune systems. People with cancer, HIV, they cannot be vaccinated because their bodies cannot fight off the weak version of the virus or due to other complications. But if you catch the disease itself, you're more likely to die or suffer serious complications from it. Which means that if you are a healthy person with a healthy immune system, it is your obligation to get vaccinated so that you can protect the people who cannot protect themselves. It's on you. And right now, a lot of people in this country are failing that. So please, do what you can, get vaccinated, and help out your neighbors by doing your part.
Up next is today's Almanac. Hawk will give us a rundown of what happened in history.
This February 22nd marked the 283rd birthday of the first President of the United States, George Washington. Born in 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia, Washington had spent most of his youth on Mount Vernon, the tobacco plantation owned by his family. At the age of 16, Washington had joined a surveying party plotting land in Virginia's Western Territory. And by his early adulthood, Washington had began to serve in the British colonial militia during the French and Indian War. Winning major battles in the French and Indian War, Washington had proved that he should lead the Continental Army through the American Revolution, and after 8 years he led his army and the United States to victory in 1783. Washington had helped create a country that would become one of the most influential nations in the world, though he was not finished serving our nation yet. Washington came to the Constitution Hall in Philadelphia, where he was unanimously elected the first president of these United States of America, and after 8 years, the national hero stepped down so that others could lead. George Washington died 2 years later on December 14, 1799. Today we honor him as a hero for his great deeds with the Washington Monument, Mount Rushmore, and every year on the third Monday of February, we remember his birthday along with the birthdays of all our other former presidents on President's Day. George Washington was, is, and will always be remembered as a national hero.
Finally, SNL celebrated its 40th anniversary by commemorating all of its best moments. Old characters and skits were revived once more to the delight of audiences. Here's Jake Walbert with a recap on SNL's big night.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night. These iconic words have come across our TV screen the past 40 years. And on February 15th, this iconic show celebrated its 40th anniversary. The show began with a cold opening featuring Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake going through many of the show's iconic moments and giving little variations of their own. With the return of the iconic character Debbie Downer, a fan favorite by many. One of their first sketches was the Jeopardy sketch, featuring many of the famous SNL alumni and hosts doing their famous impressions. Had The Lonely Island return and do a song about actors breaking and smiling during their sketches. The night also had Nick Ocean doing his famous lounge singing of the theme song to Jaws. Also included Jerry Seinfeld interviewing members of the audience. He interviewed Larry David, because when I think of SNL, I think of Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David. Well, at least it was funny. Also included a Wayne's World sketch, which in my opinion was not just alright, it was excellent. Night also included some, well, less than par musical guests, which in my opinion could have used a little bit more cowbell. The night also had the return of the Californian sketch, one of the, well, less funny sketches in my opinion, but it did give us this iconic TV moment in my opinion. The night also featured Eddie Murphy making his much-awaited return to the SNL stage. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. But hey, in my opinion, they could have used the return of a few more characters, Ace and Gary. But SNL still delivered us a memorable 40th anniversary. What will come in the next 10 years? I don't know. Hopefully it's still on in 10 years. But hey, here's the wishful thinking.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time to Parkland Profile for more community and district news and current events. I'm your host, Madison Oliver, signing off.